Hello, welcome to Tabletop CP. Today we're going to be doing a special edition Sharp Practice Battle Report. It's a special scenario written by my friend Joshua Morris and it's called Dark and Stormy. So this scenario, it's quite involved. It's got a lot of moving parts to it. I've been studying up on the rules now for a couple of weeks. And I've been in constant communication with Joshua, asking him tons of questions. And thank you, Joshua, for putting up with all my questions. And of course, thank you for writing the scenario as well. So the first thing we need to know about this is that neither player, Steve nor Andre, are going to know ahead of time what the enemy objectives are. Nor will they know what the enemy forces consist of entirely. So that's going to be interesting to watch that unfold as well. Both players were provided with a very bare bones briefing that will not spell out everything entirely that needs to be done or that might happen, but there's hints in there that if they're reading it carefully can tip them off to things that could happen during the game. So I will be reading both briefings, and I will go over all the objectives for both teams as well, and then I will go over the special rules. So I'll go ahead and start with the Americans. December 24th, 1776. You are Captain Stephen Harper. You have been tasked by Washington to launch a surprise attack towards New York at the British troops wintering in nearby villages. There's a bridge and ford nearby you may want to use. You may want to use them or your men could suffer from the icy waters. So there's the bridge, there's the ford. You must act fast as you will be outnumbered and outgunned if you don't use surprise to your advantage. You should gather supplies and destroy any forces you encounter. Capture the bridge to allow better access for future raids. There is also word that a friendly spy may be in the area. Keep a lookout to see if you can offer any assistance. Lastly, Indians have raided a few nearby settlements, so be diligent. Victory or death. So that's the briefing. That's all Steve's going to have to go by. So objective wise, we got rout British force, that's 5 victory points. Rescue the spy, 5 victory points. Kill a British soldier, 1 victory point. Kill an Indian, 2 victory points. Each supply cartload, 2 victory points. Capture the bridge, 3 victory points. Recapture the road to New York, 2 victory points. The road to New York is here, and this side is going to Philadelphia. Okay, so special rules. A movable deployment point starts on the board. It's right there. And the only force that starts on the board for the Americans are Wadsworth's Rangers. So Wadsworth can move his deployment point, the movable deployment point on his activation if he wishes. And the only other rule for the deployment point is one of the American light infantry has to come out. Still has to come out first from it before anyone else can deploy. The Americans also have their main deployment point on the road to Philadelphia. So the other special rule is capture supplies. There's a cart there, 1 wheel. They'll have to figure out a way to move it with 1 wheel. But there's a cart at a nearby farm. You may deploy up to 10 men to load and carry the cart back the road you came from, so the road to Philadelphia. It takes 35 points to load a cart, so it's going to be a task. So 10 men, you can have up to 10 men moving the cart. So you need to roll a d6 for each man. And then once you reach 35, you move the cart off the road. And then you could bring it back and go again, I guess, but I think we might just do it once. Of course, it might not happen at all, so who knows? Maybe we'll just if Steve wants to spend half the game moving supplies from the barn back to Philadelphia, then that's his deal. And that is worth 2 victory points every cartload. Forces wise, I'm not going to put the forces out. The only forces that are going to be known at the beginning are the ones that are already on the table. So I've already told you that the only forces that the Americans have on the table at the start are Wadsworth's Rangers. Everyone else is going to be coming in later. So The Americans, they have 3 groups of volunteers, so they'll look exactly like Continental regulars, but they have a little bit different rules. They have formation, no shock, first fire, first only. They can't do a controlled volley, or they can on the first one, but step out is 2, drill or crashing volley are not an option. And they have muskets and sharp practice. They also have 1 group of light infantry skirmishers, and those are pretty much the same rules that you see with your normal light infantry skirmishers. They're going to have 2 groups of militia. Militia are basically the same rules as the volunteers, and they have muskets and sharp practice. And then Wadsworth Rangers, they are skirmishers, light infantry skirmishers, rifles, tomahawks, aggressive, good shots, and they control the movable deployment point. Leader-wise, we got Stephen Harper. He's going to be a level 3. We got Sergeant Knox, a level 1. We got Lieutenant Johnny Walker leading the skirmishers, the light infantry skirmishers. And of course we got Montrose leading the militia, and Robert Wadsworth himself leading the Rangers. So that is it for the Americans. Let's take a look, let's read through the British what is it called? Briefing. British briefing. December 24th, 1776. You are Captain Thomas Gage and are having a lovely evening with your new mistress Delilah. It's Christmas Eve and all is quiet, at least until you retire upstairs. Wink, wink. Some of your troops are on leave in New York, and some at a nearby town. You are a good commander, however, and haven't let your guard down in case of rebel tomfoolery. You have your light troops stationed just outside your house, and pickets have been deployed in the woods and bridge near the river. Also, your heathen Indian allies are going to raid the rebels, so that should keep them occupied for the night. If things get serious, you have a cannon. Even though the crew is in New York, you are sure your men can have a good try and get stuck in if needed. It's time for some eggnog and then retire upstairs for some more festivities. Merry Christmas. So, objective-wise, keep Delilah safe, 2 victory points. Get Delilah to New York, 4 victory points. Kill a rebel soldier, 1 victory point. Rout the American force, 7 victory points. The Indians, they're going to have their own objectives. Poison the well, 2 victory points. Burn Northern House, 3 victory points. Take scalps, 1 victory point. Special rules. You must get a leader off the board to New York road, to get reinforcements. So one of the officers, if he can get off of this road here, he can bring in some reinforcements, which we'll talk about in a second. Asleep. Most of your forces are asleep and in barracks for the night. The umpire will explain how they wake up. That's me. I'll explain that in a second. And the Indian allies, they enter on turn 6. They are the only forces that can score the brown victory points, which are the Indian victory points that I spoke of. So forces-wise for the British, we got 4 groups of redcoats. 2 of those groups are off the road to New York as the reinforcements, and one of the officers can get off the table. They can bring them back in the very next turn. So these are earlier redcoats, so they have thin red line and sharp practice, and their crashing volley, step out, and drill are 3 flags instead of 2. We got 2 groups of infantry light infantry skirmishers. Their only special rule is sharp practice, so they're not as good as they normally are. And we have the 2 groups of Indians, and they have prominent leader, tomahawks, aggressive and tactical, and everyone's armed with muskets. So let's go over the British side here. So one group of the light infantry skirmishers are the sentries. So we got 2 of them on the road with the leader. We got 2 of them in the forest there, and 2 of them in the forest there. So the way the light infantry skirmishers work, they're going to move randomly. So I'll use a scatter dice, and they're going to move a d6 plus 2 in a random direction every turn. We also have a group of full group guarding the house where Captain Gage is with Delilah, inside that house there, and they're just stationed right outside. And the other 2 groups of redcoats are asleep in these 2 houses. These trays here, the way those are going to work is once the alarm is sounded, and I'll just go over the alarm real quick now. Well, actually, I'll go over the alarm in a second when I go over the umpire notes. But so the redcoats are asleep in the houses. Once the alarm is sounded, they're going to start coming out. And the way they're going to do that is, so they must muster outside their deployment area in the trays. When the alarm is sounded, they roll a d6 and deploy that many troops into the trays. They may also roll a d6 on a tiffin by spending a card. And a leader, if the leader's attached, he adds that, his leadership, plus d6 to the guys that come out. And they can't move until the tray is full and the group is complete and ready to rock and roll on their own. And there's a cannon. The cannon there is unmanned. So a leader is going to have to assign men to man the cannon. The infantry, so you need a minimum of 3 crew for maximum effectiveness. If you have 2 or less guys, you need 3 actions to reload. And since they aren't trained on the cannon, they suffer a -1 to hit. And I believe I already told you that the reinforcements will be coming off this board edge if an officer can get off there and find them and bring them back. And the alarm, I'll just go over the alarm. So most of the British are asleep at the beginning of the game. They may not take an action until the alarm is raised. Each time shots are fired, roll a d6. When 8 pips have accumulated, the British chips are put into the bag. So the British don't start with any chips in the bag at all. The Americans start with all of theirs. Every turn, the Americans will add one of their flags. I mean, the British will add one of their command cards into the bag. Per turn until they get to turn 6, and then once the alarm is raised, all of the actual unit cards will go into the bag. So I'm right in here to the umpire notes now. I'm kind of mixing them together, but I'll just keep going here. So the river, it's a very cold, December 24th, in the between Philadelphia and New York. So I'm assuming it'd be cold there. So every time you enter the river, you move with -1 pip per dice, assuming you're not using the ford or the bridge. Any unit that crosses the river must roll a damage +5 to hit, and they'd take damage as if they're in hard cover. And if the unit does not completely cross the river in one turn, that moves to a +4 to hit. So you could lose men or take shock by crossing the river if you're trying to just cross right through the water and not use one of the crossings. So went over alarm, went over sentries, went over the cannon, went over the bunks, reinforcements, I went over that. Indians. So on turn 6, the Indians are going to come in behind that hill there. Their objective is to poison that well. So to poison the well, the Indians need to perform a task. And they need 12 pips, d6 per detached man assigned to the task. They can also burn down any structure for victory points. And every time someone dies, an enemy dies, place a marker where anyone they kill dies. They may get 1 extra victory point if they spend a turn taking a scalp. So that's pretty much all the British special rules. The Americans, most of the Americans start off the board. Wadsworth's Rangers are on the board, as I said. Movable deployment points attached to him. And to capture the bridge or road, you need a group on the objective with no enemies within 3 inches. So the Americans will be deploying off their 2 deployment points, and hopefully he deploys them rather quickly, because part of this game is, or the big part of the beginning before the alarm is raised, is stealth. So the Americans have a chance. They got 6 turns to get into position. I'm assuming as soon as the Indians get here, the alarm is going to be raised if it hasn't been already from all the whooping and everything. So yeah, so that's the Indians. So the last thing is Delilah herself. Delilah is actually a spy for the Continental Army and must make it back to her forces to get critical information she has learned from Captain Gage. So inform the American player he may on any tiffin spend 1 flag to distract the guards and move 3d6 -3 in any direction. And that's Delilah. Future attempts, if caught, take 3 flags. So if she gets away, the British can recapture her. So she can be caught by an officer or detached 3 men. Yeah, so they will move into contact with her and then roll a dice per man. And on so each detached man rolls a dice. Each leader level adds to it, and on a 6 she's recaptured. When she is free, she will move every tiffin by the umpire 3d6 minus 3 due to wearing high heels. No command card needed. So the British player is going to have to keep Delilah safe, keep her with them, and Delilah is going to try to escape. As soon as the shooting starts, she's out of here. She's going to try to get back to a friendly unit. And the British are going to have to, if she gets away, they're going to have to capture her and keep her under guard. So those are the rules. A lot of reading, I know, but hopefully that'll clear things up for anyone watching this as the game progresses, that they might know, what's happening or what's about to happen, and the other players might not know that. So it'll make for an interesting game, I'm sure. But yeah, so that's the forces, that's the rules, the board is pretty much, I went over everything there, and yeah, I guess we're really ready to start. So once Steve and Andre get here, I will talk to them individually and just go over all the rules that pertain to them that they should know, and then we'll get started. Real quick before we begin, there's a couple of things I forgot that are important to the game, rules wise, and that is that it is dark just before dawn, and dawn will break as soon as the alarm is sounded. The darkness part comes in for the sentries, as they will be able to spot enemies, and if they spot an enemy, the alarm will be sounded immediately. And the way spotting works is whatever way they are facing after they do the random movement, they will be able to see 3d6 in their 180 degree arc in front of them from whatever position they stop in. So if these guys can sneak up and the whole army can sneak up and these guys are facing the wrong way, there's a good chance the Americans can get into position, or there's a good chance that they'll be spotted immediately. So it just adds a little bit of randomness to it. I think it's pretty cool, and it makes the Americans kind of have to think about which way they're going to move. So I wanted to add that in here because that is an important part of the game, and I forgot to mention it earlier. So anyway, we'll go ahead and get started now. Alright, so Steve and Andre have arrived, and I've talked to them each individually, and we've gone over their specific rules for the mission. And you guys ready?
Yeah, Travis assured me I wasn't going to have any trouble.
Yeah, I'm partial to the redcoats. So we're going to start right now then. Go for it. Alright, blue flag. Remember, the British have no flags in there yet. 3. Who is 3?
Is Johnny Walker.
Okay, so that's your skirmish unit. So they can deploy from the jump off point here, and once they do, anyone else can also deploy.
Travis just revealed Steve's jump off point to me.
Well, it's kind of obvious. Steve's brought Johnny Walker in off there, so now everyone else on his horse can deploy from that now.
Okay, red.
No red.
Oh, another blue one.
Another blue one.
Wadsworth Rangers.
Wadsworth, okay. Wadsworth is going to stay put behind the trees here.
Another blue one. It's like there's no red in the bag.
It does seem like that. Another blue one.
4 flags.
You could bring a unit in, Steve, off the table, or you can reactivate Johnny.
More Wadsworth.
There is a Tiffin in there, yeah. That's kind of one of the things I was thinking is like, you get 6 turns, and hopefully one of those isn't Tiffin first or early, because then that'll really limit the things you can do. So
yeah, let's
you might want to bring someone in.
Yeah, let's bring the militia in.
Okay. Montrose has come in there.
Red 1. Oh man.
2. Who's that?
2 is
I wanted to activate my leader.
Sergeant Knox. So he can come in with
Connell.
He's like a sergeant. You can bring him in by himself. You can do whatever you want, but I think you could bring him in with the big group of. He can't bring him in.
Harper's the.
Yeah.
Oh, gotcha.
So, next card. There it is. Not the Tiffin. I'm sure I put it in there. I hope.
That's Harper.
Yeah, that's Harper and his group of.
Merry men.
Yeah, his merry men, the volunteers. So Harper has come in with his group of volunteers, his formation of volunteers on the road in column.
Wonderful.
Not a tiffin to be seen. Who's
Yeah,
for?
there's the tiffin.
Oh, it came out last.
Montrose, he's already come out.
Okay, so that was Montrose. So he already activated.
Good job. Picking them in order. Yeah.
So that's turn. That's the end of turn 1. So I think we need to do the movement for the sentries, and then put a red chip in the bag. Sentry wise, these guys moved that direction, checking out behind the house. These guys just moved up to the river. They rolled enough to get into the river, but we stopped them. And those guys just moved there to the end of the bridge. So turn 2.
Ho, red flag.
The one red chip in the bag. He pulled it, huh?
Okay, tiffin.
That would actually be really good for you.
That's Wadsworth Rangers.
Yep. So Wadsworth just gonna hang out there.
Number 1 is Knox.
Harper. Harper moved his guys off the road towards the woods. And you could have possibly, well, if you could have moved up and then got the red 4 flags and activated them again, maybe. 3.
Still can.
That's Johnny Walker. The Walker's gonna stay put.
Really?
4. Who's that? Montrose. Really? What are you expecting? Oh, the tiffin.
Really?
Thinking, what are you waiting for? Red 1 to come out?
Montrose and the Militia.
Yep. So these Montrose moved his boys up, and then Andre pulled a blue flag. And the tiffin. There you go. So you got
So I
2
can activate
flags.
one that hasn't activated yet.
Yeah, you can activate. Who hasn't activated?
Everyone is. No, they
Yeah,
chose not
he chose
to.
not to. Everyone, yeah, everyone has already.
And I can activate somebody who hasn't?
No, but you can roll your We'll roll the sentries now. So these sentries move right back to the exact spot they were. These guys move back this way, 8, and those guys move 6 more down the road. So we're on turn 3.
Ooh, 3 flags?
I'm not sure how that works. I don't know if how that would do with the sentries. Oh, I stepped in some crap.
Or
Damn
they
horses.
double time it
Johnny
down the
Walker.
road singing a merry song.
Yeah, that's true. Move forward 3d6 sentries. So that was who?
Johnny Walker.
Johnny Walker.
I'd like to get these guys up a little farther.
So he's not going to do anything with Walker. Hey, the red flag.
Woohoo!
Another
Woohoo!
red flag. And sadly, you can't do anything with that, but
Number 4, Montrose.
Montrose.
It's 2 groups of Militia.
Montrose's militia moved up here by Wadsworth. 2, that's Sergeant Knox.
Knox. We're gonna remove
Take
some-
off the point of
Take off
shot.
some shot.
Another flags. You got 3
So
flags
I can
now.
activate somebody, right?
You
Yeah.
could activate, but you could activate them anyway on the tiffin. If the tiffin comes out, you can still activate everyone.
Activating with the officer isn't really a bonus at this point unless you're activating your main dude and multiple units in command range.
Okay. Well, the only one that hasn't activated is
Okay.
Harper.
So now 4. Now you could do a bonus activation and hope that you get Harper's card. There's probably what in there, just 2 or 3 chips left.
Feels like 3.
Okay, so that's your choice now. You could move Montrose up again. Actually, you could activate Harper with those 4, and then if he pulls the blue 1, you can activate him again.
Let's do that.
All right. Yeah. So Steve moved Harper's boys up into the woods and hoping for a blue 1.
And got
There
it.
it is. So yeah, there you go. It paid off. So you get to activate Harper once again. All right, Harper's moving this way, so looks like we're loading up the right side here.
Really?
Wadsworth.
And
Wadsworth has moved up with his free move. And he's going to fire at these sentries. So you can fire this volley without waking everyone up.
8 and 3s.
So yeah, so you're getting 7 shots and +1 for good shots. So you get 8 shots.
Thought the sergeant couldn't fire it.
but
Well,
he's activating
he adds
them.
his
Oh.
command.
Roger. Okay.
So needing 3s. So he missed
5
3.
shot. Hit 5.
5 hits, Andre, and hard cover because they are light infantry. And oh, and yeah, you were right about the skirmish screen, Andre. Apparently, if a light infantry just happen to be standing in front of anybody, they get the screen, which I don't agree with. I think if you're screening, you're acting in a certain way, like in a screening manner, not just kind of standing around smoking and joking.
They were screening.
So just one
One
shot.
shot.
That's it. So
But we thought it was a mosquito.
So roll a d6 to see if what the so 2.
Yeah,
So when he reaches an 8, it'll sound the alarm.
moving back.
Oh yeah, he's gonna finish moving. And then Andre, oh, you got to move your skirmishers. I mean your pickets. And then he did pull the tiffin. These sentries moved over this way. These guys just moved up slightly into the woods, and they reluctantly moved down the road. They're scared of the dark. Turn 4. Well, they heard some rustling in the bushes there. Could be a bear. 2. That's Knox.
Knox, Ruth, and Shocks.
4. Montrose.
4 is Montrose, and it's Militia.
Montrose is reluctantly moving up to the woods there. We got a 3. And we've added another red flag. That's 2 flags in a row. Ooh, that's what Andre wanted. So Steve, you could activate 1 unit that hasn't activated yet. So you used his flag to activate Walker, and Walker moved up to the edge of the woods, and he's going to try to take out those 2 sentries.
7 shots, needing 3s.
You're within 12, aren't you? Yep. So 2s, anything but.
Well,
3
got a lot of
butts. 4 hits. And light cover because you're light infantry. What? Nothing. Wow. Zing. That just went right by. So
How
that
much
was
alarm, roll an alarm die.
2.
We're up to 4.
Up to 4. But it's going to be
Yeah.
daylight. So it's turn 5. The sun's
Shouldn't matter.
peeking out from above the mountains, and it's starting to get a little bit light. So we'll do the sentries and move on to turn 6.
A sentry for Pete's sake.
So that means the alarm's raised?
The alarm is raised. Sentries moved. They moved back to the river. These guys just shuffled over. They're just kind of stuck over here. But these guys moved up quite a bit.
We thought somebody was shooting at us.
They
We
heard
ran
some
up there.
shots. Yeah, they saw some smoke and flash from the trees. They moved up, and sure enough,
Hey, there's guys there.
look, there's men in there. So the alarm has been sounded.
So do I throw all the...
Yep. So all your chips, all your commander cards. I think the flags we still put in one at a time until
Right.
they're all in. So all your chips
So
are in
this
there.
is turn 5? Or no, this is the start of 6, right?
No, this is 5. Turn 5. This is the start of 5. I just turned it. So these guys have been spotted. The alarm has been sounded. So we'll be right. So the alarm's been raised. So everyone's running around, yelling. These guys are going to start getting up and get dressed. So roll a d6 per group here, or
Oh,
per house.
I don't have to pull a...
No, it just happens.
It just
automatically.
happens. Okay, far house.
Okay. Ooh, 5. So you got 5 coming out here. Ooh, man.
6.
6. Okay, so 5 and 6. So 6 guys came out. 6 guys came out. And Martin, Sergeant Martin as well. It didn't really say where Martin was supposed to go, but I noticed. I'm just missing it here. 1, 2. Oh no. Martin's over here. So Martin is located there. So now beginning of turn 5, everyone's awake. And so Andre, you can now start trying to get your sentries back.
No, we're going to flank them.
Yeah, I'm not sure they can't do anything unless the leader does something with them.
I'm within command range.
9 inches. So red flag. Tiffin.
Blue 2. Knox.
Sergeant Knox. It's 2 flags in a row, or no, 1 flag? 2 flags in a row.
2 flags.
Two.
Tiffin.
Interesting.
So I can activate a unit?
Yeah, you can activate 2 units. And Andre can activate 1. Alright, so we forgot, Andre's going to do something we haven't done before. And he's going to evade with his light infantry. So he's going to do that after he declares their face away. And Steve still has a chance. He has 3 actions. I don't know if you can make it that far on 3 actions or not, but you could try. How far is that? More than 18. No?
No, it's only 14.
Yeah, so...
Well, 15 will get there.
Reload and shoot him.
You could do that too. So yeah, he was going to invasion fisticuffs. They ran off. I guess he decided. So you're not going to try to catch him?
I think I've got the same chance of shooting him.
Okay, so he's just
So
going
he's hard cover though, right?
He'll be in
Yeah.
hard cover, but you could reload and fire instead.
You are shooting me in the butt.
I could move, reload, and fire too and get...
Yeah. So they've moved up 1d6 and they're going to reload and fire at the two guys in the woods over there, running away like cowards.
So they need 3s, right? Because it's
So this is not.
effective range.
Oh, well, they got muskets, so it's long range.
Oh,
So
long
6s, so they need 5s because
For
they've
shot,
already,
though. For
but they've
shot.
already fired. Remember, they shot those guys once before. So
That's
needing
good.
5s.
Getting worse by the moment.
Oh, those are the guys that are long range, right?
There's 5. No, those are the guys that were in regular range.
Oh, then 4s.
There you go.
Wait, I'm sorry. You got close range guys as 4 pluses, so you still got 1.
All right, go on.
Okay, and then you got a couple that needing 5s. There you go.
It's like 3 shots.
3 hits on the guys in the woods.
Ouch.
Hard cover. Point of shock.
2 points of shock.
Just 1. Hard cover is 5 and plus. Oh, that's right. Shooting from the rear end. Okay, so that was one of Steve's. So Andre, you get to go next. And didn't you have a flag left too,
I do,
Steve?
yeah. Got a flag.
So Steve still got a flag. So what Andre did was he used his flag to activate to bring more men out of this house, and he got another 6, so he's got a full tray. So they're ready to activate, and then
Harper up.
Steve's gonna move Harper.
He can move.
So flank and move. All of a sudden, 2 bands of wild Indians appear from behind the Continentals. Turn 6, here they come.
Was the Indian card in the pile?
Yeah, it should be in there.
Okay, we just didn't draw it. Oh, did I add a flag?
Nope, we need to add another flag. So now you have 5 flags in there. To Steve's 4.
And Indians.
And what?
Indians.
And Indians. Yeah. End of chapter. Game over. No. So everyone reloads.
Wonderful. I lose all my shock.
Lose all your shock. All right. Well, move on to turn. It doesn't matter now. We don't have to keep track of turns anymore.
So there's nothing else So that was totally worthless.
Yep.
Except for Steve.
Well, you get to put your other flag in.
Oh.
So they're your full flags. So 6 flags.
Oh.
So the Continentals look a little slow on the uptake here. 3. Who's that, Andre?
Not a clue.
I guess you better pull this out, huh? Red 3 is Sharp. That's these guys here.
Okay.
Sharp has moved his entire group up to the cannon and manned it. And they've spun it around a little ways to face this direction. 7, no. 4, that's Montrose. Montrose is, they did a left face and used 2d6 and moved that way. So they're all facing that way, heading towards the bridge. Next card. 2. It's Knox. Remove the shots.
Did I put any of the red in here?
Yeah, there's a
I
red
forgot
3.
to put all the red in. At least this doesn't look unusual.
2.
2.
That's Sergeant Martin over here.
Martin is
Martin
going to
just run and gotten into command of that group there. The red flag. Red 4. That is Nelson, the guy at the bridge.
He is gonna boogie.
Okay. So he's gonna run out. Ooh, nice. So Nelson is run towards the New York Road.
Ooh.
That's Gage. So Gage can now do something. As long as he can get off Delilah long enough.
I see he's already out of the saddle.
Okay.
Okay.
So Gage, dragging Delilah by the hand, is moved over to this group. Next flag, or next card. And it's a flag. 2 flags in a row. Andre's now got 3. Just gonna keep pulling. 4, that's 3 flags in a row. So who's the
Okay.
last one to move that wasn't in?
Or can he by himself?
Hold on. Yeah, let's roll for him. If it happens to be an officer-related one, it'll be something. If not, then it'll be nothing. Make way. The leader commanding the unit which last moved is accidentally barged down by his own men. On his next activation, he cannot move. So what we can say is that he tripped coming out of the door.
On Delilah's skirt.
Yeah, he tripped over Delilah's
Whoa.
skirt. What?
So I didn't get there?
No. Okay, he just tripped over Delilah's skirt right here. Damn you, Delilah. Okay.
I told you to pull those petticoats all the way up.
But you do have 4 flags.
Oh.
So you might want to, yeah. But you did pull another flag, but that's,
Okay, so
we'll let Andre think about what he wants to do. He's going to save the flags for the tiffin.
long tiffin. Not something you usually say with 4 flags. 6, that must be the Indians, or who was 5 then?
5 is Tatanka, and 6 is son of Magua.
Oh, I got 2 leaders over there. Okay.
Yeah.
So that's Tatanka or
That's son of Magua.
son of Magua?
So son of Magua is just run around the side of the hill there. And we're still pulling. No tiffin
Ooh.
yet.
I've got 4 flags.
So you're going to try to make it there, use all 4. It's a risk.
Oh.
Indian attack in the back.
13, it's a little more than average roll.
And if, well, I was going to say you could step out, but you can't. You need to use a flag to do that, and you wouldn't have 4 anymore.
Okay, I'll grab another. I'll pull another flag. And
That's
then
true,
I'll
you
do it.
got. That's right, I forgot you had 6 flags in there.
Oh,
Okay, there it is, finally. Alright. Steve activated Harper's formation and just did an about face to face towards the Indians, and then Andre moved those 2 guys with 1 flag all the way over there. So Andre's got more flags to activate, and then Steve's got 1 more. So Tatanka has moved up. Andre moved all of his sentries, so they just moved back there. These guys moved way back there. Those guys moved over there, and then Steve moved these guys up, and only 3 can see that they're going to fire into son of Magua's unit. 3 hits.
3.
Man.
Yeah, you're just in range. So 1 dead and 2 shock. Check your leader. Nope. So let's take a dead guy, a dead Indian. Hey, a victory point.
2 victory points.
Is it 2 to kill an Indian?
Yes, sir.
Oh man.
They're twice as valuable because
Wow.
they're Americans.
Real Americans.
So yeah. Well, there's your drawback
Not like
there.
you interlopers.
There's your drawback, Andre. It's two victory points for every one of them
So
Indians.
popping up back there cornered was not necessarily a good thing.
Well, I think a lot had to do had to do with how Steve came in. If he was more over there, he'd have a clear shot. But the way it stands
Well,
now,
you can still just turn and focus.
Yep.
I mean, there's really nothing over here drawing him in other than probably the main objective.
well, maybe Tatanka should go. He has other objectives, right? He has multiple objectives he can achieve in this. So
Yeah.
anyway, that's it for this turn. So pick them up and start over. So those guys reloaded. So here we go.
I want to throw in another flag.
I don't have any more red flags.
I know,
The
I
only
know.
thing was 6.
I only get 6.
Andre's getting greedy. 6 flags.
Yeah, I just found out my
Not enough
Indians are
flags.
surrounded.
We're surrounded. Got them right where you want them now. 3, that's Sharp, the guy on the cannon. Okay, so Sharp, the 2 sentries that were kind of hanging out, he snapped them in with them, so another part of this group. And then he moved the cannon up 4 inches, and yeah, all those guys are manning the cannon. I think collectively, with all their brain power, they can figure out how to work it. Maybe. We'll see. Ooh. Well, Gage.
So,
He'll just get up and dust off his cravat.
so you can't command anybody
Can't
or
do anything.
do anything?
Nope.
He's embarrassed.
Nice.
He's just dusting himself off.
Steve gets a flag. Andre gets a flag. Steve.
Montrose.
Oh, Montrose.
So Montrose is moved towards the bridge and just snapped into line, facing, yeah, It's
I'm
cool.
facing the bridge right now.
Yeah. So he's sort of in column, I guess, still. Red flag. Man, there's so many red flags in there. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Too many red flags. But that lets you move all your sentries. every
Yeah.
turn, so they can get out and do something.
So there.
That's Son of Magua. Switching sides of the table. So Son of Magua moved only 6, but he had to take 2 off of the 2 shocks, so he barely made it to there. Flag. Red flag. Uh-oh.
Red flag.
And now you got 4 flags already. So Andre used the 4 flags to move the cannon, and he got a whopping 2-inch move. So biggest waste of 4 flags of all time.
Maybe.
Well, I'm sure it'll be worth it when you get turned around. That's 3 flags for Steve. So do you want to interrupt and outdo an officer? Or we're just going to keep pulling?
At this point, no, we can keep going.
Okay.
There
we go. Harper. Harper, with one of his commands, is going to activate Wadsworth. They moved up. He's going to fire on the cannon, I believe.
Yes.
Needing 5s.
Got 3 hits.
So 3 hits on the cannon there, Andre.
Okay. So do they all?
I think you got plenty of crew. They all go onto the cannon because it's a group shooting another group.
Okay, and you're not going to give me my soft cover, are you? Oh, I get. Or do I
Actually,
get soft cover for the
No,
what's he shooting
actually,
through?
someone told me this. One of the viewers or somebody somewhere that cannon crew get the +1
Oh,
too, which I don't
Okay.
understand, but
gun shield.
gun shield, yes. They got the whole 88mm gun shield on the cannon, but yeah, so you're being soft cover.
Okay. So do I have to split this at all?
No.
Oh, because it's a
Group.
group firing on a group.
Yep.
Shock.
Shock. 1 point of shock, that's it. And then you're unloaded, double unloaded. Are you gonna pull back? Or are you gonna hang tight?
Yeah, I'll pull back.
Okay.
Almost.
Yeah, you can probably still see me now.
I was going to say, if you went up 2, a 1 isn't going to get you
No.
out, but you
So-
still might have 4 inches cover there.
No, he's right in range, barely. So that 1-inch move back didn't help you.
So it does.
Shouldn't have rolled a 1, Steve.
Okay, so the second
It's
activation, he's
holding.
going to snap.
Oh yeah, and he's his rest of Harper's activation is going to move those guys, snap them in, and then do some shooting. So these guys formed up, front 2, second group moved up, got in line. They had to wheel a bit. And now the only 2 groups that can fire are the 2 on the end there on the far right.
So it's long range, no first fire, so
You
5.
get a first fire. You get a first
Oh.
fire. So yeah, you're hitting on 5s. He didn't present, so it's not controlled. So just 5s, huh?
Not a particularly impressive roll.
He's got a 6 in there. He's got a couple 6s in there.
Got a lot.
Alright. Now, since they're uncontrolled, do they have to get back in control? Is that?
Yeah. So if you want to do anything else with them,
Oh,
they need to.
But you got a big man there, so it shouldn't be too tough. Okay, so I'm going to split them up 1 on each.
Okay. There we go. 1 dead and 3 shot. So yeah, we're saying they're some of them are in the open, so don't have to check your leader, but you do take dead and 3 more shock. So what do you got? 5 shock now?
Yep.
Oh man, you got 5 guys. So Son of Mago's getting lit up a little bit. All right, so here we go.
It was bad enough.
Next flag. Yeah, you're putting enough hurting on Son of Magua.
Tatanka.
The Tonka. So Tatanka has moved around here. He's going to shoot at Wadsworth with 8 shots.
2 hits.
2 hits. Do you get first fire is the question.
Oh, I thought I got first fire.
First fire, no.
1 hit.
1 hit. And unloaded. Nothing. Well, that was unproductive. He pulled out the red 2, which is Sergeant Martin. Sergeant Martin, his group is just going to stay here and fire onto the militia with 8 shots.
9 shots.
9 shots, I'm sorry. And it is your first fire, so you got 1 hit.
I got a hit again. Woohoo!
Look out. 1 hit, Steve. And you probably want to put it on Montrose's unit, I'm assuming, Andre.
Yeah.
Of course, I guess it doesn't matter. You can't kill the leader anyway.
Whatever.
No, it didn't matter anyway. Didn't get anything anyway, Andre. That's 2 whiffs in a row.
2 flank shots.
Can you put some smoke on those guys? And these guys here.
No. They reloaded.
Still 3.
Tiffin.
There it is, finally. So Steve's got 3 flags left, and he still has...
Yeah, trees.
You already activated Wadsworth, so all you got left is Johnny. Alright, so Johnny Walker just moved up that way. So we're starting another turn here. Blue flag. Blue flag. Red flag. That's a random event.
2 dice.
Johnny
for Steve.
Walker. Roll me 2d6 and tell me what you get.
7.
Sergeant, tell the men to sing. The troops are in any call in formation, they make 2d6 in movement. So, nothing.
4 flags in a row.
That's 4 flags in a row.
Hey.
4, that's Nelson, so he's gonna try and get off the road. Yeah, I think he made it. So Nelson's off, he's going to New York.
Is that a VP or something? Is that a victory point or?
No, he just needs to take a leak.
Don't worry about it.
Don't worry about it, Steve. Don't worry about it. It's not important at all to the game. Ooh.
Ooh, Tiffin. Okay. Well, you each got 2 flags.
We never rolled for morale, did we?
Yeah, you're both starting on a 10.
Okay, so who? So we roll for.
Roll off. See who gets to go first.
I'll go first.
Okay. So Andre gets to use the first flag. Okay, so with 1 flag, Steve moved Son of Magua. I mean, not Steve. Andre moved Son of Magua into the trees. 5 shock and all. Got him in there, and then the next flag, Steve moved up Johnny Walker, and he's going to fire into Son of Magua in 3s.
On this one.
So 1, 2, 3, 4 hits. Because this was one of them.
Yeah, I already rerolled that one, so.
Okay, so 3 hits? Or 4 hits?
3.
3 hits on Son of Magua there, Andre. Come on, cover. So just a point of shock. Just. So you are at 6 shock with 5 men, so involuntary withdrawal. So let me see what their involuntary withdrawal is. And then roll a bad thing. So this, Andre moved the cannon. He moved it up a couple inches and refaced it.
An inch.
An
Double
inch.
choose
Yeah.
with 1 shock.
And then Steve, he refaced the militia and presented on my advice. So if it backfires, I guess it's my fault. Next turn. Tiffin. Okay, well everyone's reloaded and nothing else is gonna happen. So next turn. So that happened so fast, we'll yeah, those guys are. Okay, we'll move on to the next turn. Ooh, that's Gage.
Oh, that's me.
Yep. So Gage yelled in there, "Get your ass out of the bed, get dressed, get out here." So they brought the last 2 guys out. His second command, he broke this guy off as a separate group, and he's taking Delilah that direction. In his third command, he's activating the cannon. He's going to fire a cannonball at Harper's men from the ass.
5s and 6s. First fire.
So hitting on 4s with the cannon into the rear of these dudes. 10 dice. What do we got here? 4 hits.
I thought that was a real nice roll at first.
Yeah, me too. 4 hits, Steve. Doubling shock. So you can split them up between at least these 2 groups because they're in. They probably can't see them. Okay, then split them up between all three.
So take 2 on that group.
Okay. Well, actually, he gets to pick where the extra ones go.
So
Don't
4
worry
hits.
about it.
Okay, so
And
next
one,
one.
one.
So a dead guy
And a shock on that.
And
2 shock. 4 shock. Because it's double because he's hitting you from the rear. So 4 shock on there, dead here, and then Andre gets a victory point.
woohoo!
Finally.
I did something.
What's the victory point for?
I killed a man.
You killed
I
a
just killed a man.
you killed a Continental. Kill rebel soldier, 1 victory point. Next one, 3. That's I believe Roger Sharp,
So that's the cannon again.
cannon crew, but he can't
We'll
do anything.
reload.
Yeah, no, they've already activated.
Yeah, I know. I'll pull a shock and
Actually, they could have half reloaded because all they did was fire, right? They didn't move or anything. So fire and half reload,
okay.
and then pull a shock with Sharp.
So if I pull him off with this group, I've still got a full cannon crew there, right?
Yep. But they'll have to be activated by another leader from somewhere else, probably him.
Unless he's within how far?
6 inches. He's a level 2.
6 inches.
Sharp has moved up. He took some men, left some men on the cannon, and he's heading up towards the trees. Red flag. Got blue ones in there?
No, but we're ready for a tiffin.
It wouldn't be a bad thing for the British.
Number 5. Wadsworth.
Wadsworth.
Wadsworth's gonna go for the easy money here.
The cannon.
No, the Indians.
Oh, Tatanka. Okay. So Wadsworth is turned around. He's going to unload into Tatanka. Needing 4s. Ooh.
7
That's
hits.
not a major.
That's not a major whip. Andre asked for a
Not
major
listening.
whip. 7 hits in the oak well. Soft cover.
2 dead, 3 shock.
Yep. And check your leader. It is him.
No.
Oh, it has to be under. Under. That's right.
Or does that?
It's under.
Okay, even if it's
Oh no, yeah, I'm sorry. For skirmishers it's equal to or under. So you killed one and then one of them was Tatanka. So we'll see what happens to him. He loses a command initiative. So roll a bad thing. 6 is good, right?
yeah, 6s are always good.
On bad things. So we'll figure it out. All right. So he lost 2 force morale on that rolling a 6 for the bad thing for Tatanka. He lost another Indian, which is 2 more victory points for Steve.
Come on,
5.
tiffin.
5. That's Tatanka, isn't it?
Son of Magua.
No, Son of Magua is 6.
Oh, Tonka.
That's Tatanka.
Hit with 1 dice.
1 dice.
die.
1 die of shooting. So Tatanka is going to fire back at Wadsworth, getting
That's all he can.
5 shots. Needing 6s.
Nothing. And I'll move 2 dice.
So 2 inches. Tatanka was able to move 2, but I think you might still be in line of sight. So what's the score there, Steve? What do you got? 6 victory points? Andre's got 1. That's 2 flags. 2 flags in a row. 6.
Son of Magua.
Son of Magua. Son of Magua is going to go in. Balls to the wall. Fisticuffs.
And he didn't make it.
Yeah. So 8. Yeah. Minus. Yeah, he ain't going to make it. So he's only going to move 2 inches. Yeah. He's hurting.
Not like a cannon.
Next
I
flag.
think the Indians were supposed to be a huge bonus for me, is the thing.
Yeah, they were supposed to be. Not turning out that way.
Woo!
Ooh, wow.
Oh, that sucks for me.
Doesn't
Yeah,
it?
Big time.
Doesn't it?
Okay, so he's gonna, with one of his cards, gonna activate these sentries. They're gonna try and cross the river.
So I go 6.
So they hopefully make it.
So he makes it,
Okay.
and he winds up in the water.
All right. So both guys have to roll. So just roll them separate.
Okay.
So on a 5+, they take some kind of cold damage. So who's this for? That guy. So nothing. Nothing.
Oh, you guys are mortal.
So the next turn, this guy will be on a 4+.
Okay.
And we got two. We got another flag.
How many shock I got over there?
One shock.
One shock?
Yep.
Those guys are going to hold for the moment. I'm going to fire here first.
So
Yeah.
Martin's going to fire back over here at these guys.
Yeah.
Okay. 8 shots. Needing 6s. Woohoo!
That was fun. Okay.
They're unloaded. They're little measly smoke.
And I'm going to roll those. Oh, I got one shock.
Yeah. And you do have one flag left. So he's going to activate this guy with Delilah and start moving. Ooh. Oh man. An 11-inch move, Steve.
Are you trying to tell me Delilah's a fast girl?
She is. She's running by herself. She's -3 on 3d6 due to her high heels.
Oh, I didn't even know she could run by herself.
Oh, did I say that?
You never told me that.
No. Forget I said anything. All right, that's
Okay.
it for this turn. So we'll collect them up and start the next turn. All right, next turn.
Couple red flags and a tiffin.
Number 5.
Who's that?
That is Wadsworth.
Wadsworth.
Rangers.
Okay. So Wadsworth, he half reloaded. We forgot. He half reloaded last turn. Uses free move. Finish reloading. He's going to fire, and he will be unloaded. So 7 shots back into Tatanka. And
Effective range.
what's your range? Yep, effective. So hitting on 5s and 6s +1, so 4s.
Another
4 hits. 4 hits, Andre. On Mr. Tatanka. Chief Tatanka. 2 shock. So
Am I over
you're
yet?
5 shock with 6
Hey, I'm
guys.
still good. No
You're
worries.
good. I wouldn't worry about it.
No worries.
Totally relaxed. 6. That's Tatanka, son of Magua.
Son of Magua.
He's gonna go fisticuffs straight
Did I
in.
make it?
Yes.
I made it.
Yeah, so it's
Not
8.
by much.
Not by much, but I
9
made it.
minus 6 needed, so it's 3 needed 2. Good thing you didn't fire that volley. So we'll count up the fisticuffs. All right, so Andre's going to burn both his flags to add, so he's now got 8 total. Steve's got 10 total. Needing 5s and 6s.
1, 2, 3.
No, that's pretty good. What are you talking about? Yeah, 4 hits. What'd you get, Andre?
I only got 3.
Okay, so Steve, you lose 3 guys, and you take a shock, 2 shock.
2 shock.
Andre, you lose 4 men, and you take 2 shock.
Actually, I don't take any shock.
Why?
You said 3 and
Because
2
it's
shots?
just Son of Magua left.
Well, first we got to roll this for leaders. So
Oh.
roll. So you lost 3 guys, Steve. So roll a d6. See if it's Johnny.
Those are my dice.
It's not Johnny. He used his dice. Re-roll
Cheat.
them. So Andre, you roll. See if it's Son of Magua. It is. See what happens to him. Just loses a thing, but he is only a 1, so he's down to a 0.
That's
And
actually worse for me. I'd have been better if I'd
So Andre, you had 3 and Steve had 4, right? So you were
I took 3 dead.
yeah, he took 4 dead. So you lost by 1, Andre.
Yeah.
So thrown back 6 inches, facing the enemy.
Even though I'm Indians, I can't be.
Yeah, they don't have anything. I don't think that.
So thrown back how far?
Oh, and it is a prominent leader, I believe is.
Am I not fierce?
No, you're not stubborn or anything.
No stubborn?
Okay, so we'll go ahead and do all the bad things and figure out the victory points.
Son of Magua was the only dude left, and he just. Well. Then I don't know what would have happened. He would have. Yeah.
But it doesn't matter because Son of Magua was wounded. The rest of his boys routed off the table, and Steve wound up with another 8 victory points.
Hey, but I got 3.
Andre got 3.
Woohoo!
And yeah, so that was brutal. And then Andre also dropped another 2 on his force morale to 5 for the group breaking and for Magua routing off the table. He got lucky. He missed one of them. He got nothing, but he wound up with -2, so he's down to 5. Anyway, good job, Andre. Technically, though, you saved yourself. You saved Steve from getting 4 more victory points by having those 2 guys that were left right off the table.
Yeah.
At least they can't be killed.
I used his flags for that.
So a 3.
3.
Red 3. What the?
That's my cannon.
Yep, that's sharp. No, that's this guy.
Yeah.
But he can activate the cannon. So he just reloaded the cannon, presented, then Sharp and his group actually just then
Make a
they
blue
stayed
card
there.
once in a while. Geez.
Yeah, blue card. Come
We
on.
don't need any blue cards, so he can come back now.
On what'd you pull, a 4?
Yeah.
Yes, sir. That is Nelson. Nelson, come on the board. All right, Nelson. He's gone to the next town, rounded up all the redcoats he could find, and here they come. Next card. That's
Oh, you suck.
the man himself. You got blue flags in there?
Blue card.
Pull them all out.
There's no more blue flags. Andre's cheating. So Gage moved. Him and his group moved over here. They're going to try to snap in eventually. Actually, you could. Well, yeah, you're right. You could snap in, but if you want to fire them, you have to fire first, and then you could use it.
I thought I had to be within 1 to use a command. Oh, I could.
Did you use 2d6 to move here?
I did.
Okay, then you can't do it. Because if you're more than an inch, if you're within 4 but more than 1, I believe it takes an action. If you're within 1, you can just use a command. So, yeah, so he moved over, and he's going to order them to fire onto the militia. Needing 6s. Nothing, man. Have you gotten a hit yet, Andre? On any of your shooting?
Yeah, he's
Oh,
got
the cannon. The cannonball got a
The
hit.
cannonball is the only thing that's done anything.
That's just because it bounced through.
I shot the horse.
All right, pull a blue
How
flag.
about a freaking blue one? Okay, they got 6 reds. and
Careful,
one
I might make a horse's ass comment here.
There you go.
Woohoo! Flag, I'll take it.
You need that. You need that, Steve. Okay, back to the reds.
Enough of that
your
blue shit.
You got
That's
your
it.
blue. You don't need any more. 4.
4.
Montrose, finally.
Boy, it's been so long. Montrose.
Montrose, he moved 2d6 that way, got 4-inch move. So he's actually facing that way again. Another red flag. Tiffin.
Damn it.
Again, Tiffin.
So what do you got left, Andre? 2.
2, 5.
So you got Tatanka, Knox, his unit's already fired. So they fired and reloaded?
Yeah.
Okay. And then Steve's got, what do you got? 1. Man, you got a lot of stuff left.
I got the line over here.
Hold on. So Steve used his flag to break Delilah. So once per game, as I've said at the beginning, Delilah can escape. And she did escape, but she only got a 4-inch move. So now Andre has the choice of trying to catch her with an officer or a man. Up to 3 men can catch her, and they need to, when they get up to her, they need to roll a total of 6 on however many dice they have, 1 dice per man, to recapture Delilah. So Andre's still got 3 flags left, so he can chase after her with that one guy who lost her. He's probably embarrassed.
Well, I'm going to start with these guys.
Okay. He's going to move those guys, but first he's got to roll to see if that guy gets hurt in the water. No, he's good.
Okay,
So he rolled
So 12 minus 2 is 10 inch.
So we got a 10-inch move with those 2 sentries, and looks like they're moving in to intercept Delilah.
Okay.
All right, so he actually caught it. He used another flag for him, so roll a d6. Oh my god, he captured Delilah again. You're with me, lady. Where are you going? What are you thinking?
Quit your running away, you punk.
Dang it. Women.
So I can only...
So now, if you want to try to escape again, it takes 3 flags.
Oof, well, I better save up then.
Better save up, or...
So I've got a flag, I can activate a unit. that
Thanks for the
hasn't-
intel
hasn't
on the
been-
flags, by the way.
I'm not supposed to tell you anything.
You just told me it takes 3 flags
Oh.
for her to try again.
Well,
Take another shot on Johnny there.
I have a feeling you won't be seeing her try to escape again. You never know, though.
You never know.
It was a bad roll. She only got a 4-inch roll. If she would have got a lot better, it would have been.
Yeah, the other guy
Yeah.
would have.
4 is better than I usually roll, so I'll take it.
But, so...
So I have 1 flag left.
Yeah, so now
I can activate
Steve gets to
unit,
go.
right?
Yes. Steve used 1 flag to reface Harper's formation, and then they moved up 2 inches. They got a 6, but they had 4 shock. So, and then Andre's got 1 flag left, and he's gonna do something with these sentries. Are you moving them?
Yep.
Okay. So Andre, these guys got to here, not as far as Andre wanted, but it is a skirmish screen now for the cannon, but he can't fire. So I guess collect them up and move on to the next turn.
Ooh, new turn. All right.
New turn. Yep. And by the way, Steve, he tried to get across here, failed, so he inadvertently created a skirmish screen for the cannon.
3 flags.
3 flags in a row. That's these two guys.
Yeah.
See what happens to them. A 3?
3. That's different.
3. Yeah, what the hell is 3 on the movement thing? Damn dog. The leader commanding the unit. No leader. So nothing happens. That's the stepping in the dog trap. Hey, look at that. Harper. He actually got his own card pulled this time. Harper removed 2 shock, and then he moved forward and had to move over the fence. So, but he did still make it that far. Red flag. Red 4. I believe that's your boys on the road over there.
Oh.
So Nelson moved his group formation of redcoats up the road 12.
He went with them.
Yeah, and then I just moved Delilah and her buddy here over. So 3, that is sharp.
If I kill my Indians, do I get 2 points?
Yes. So sharp, the 2 sentries, you snap them in with 1 action and command, and then his other command is going to have the cannon fire at Harper. And it is presented.
Oof.
And it didn't matter.
So you're needing 4s.
4, 6.
Oh, 4s. Okay.
Yeah, because you're in effective range and you're presented.
Okay. So, average.
5 hits on to these guys. So I take it you want to put 1 and, well, 1 each and then 1 on the 2 leader
Where's
groups.
he?
I think is he with them?
I think he's
He's
there.
halfway in between.
So he takes hits for both.
Yeah, both groups.
So you
So
want 2, 2, and 1?
2, 2, and 1.
So 2.
Yeah, 1 with the sergeant. So it did.
Victory point.
That is a victory point.
2. Ooh, a dead and a shot.
Yep. So another victory point. And a 1. That's a pretty effective
I'm not a
cannonball.
fan of cannons, man. Those things not fun.
Point of shock. So point of shock, dead. So Andre, if you could write up there 2 victory points for you. You're still way behind, but hey, every little bit counts. All right, so that's everyone. So these cannons unloaded. So
Just a quick question. Could I have used flags to do anything for... Can cannon do a crashing volley or anything?
no. That'd be pretty awesome though. So flag. Now Andre's got 3 flags. Hey, look at that, Sergeant Knox.
Wow.
He's been waiting for this moment, this entire game.
Remove a shock.
Remove a shock. Oh, blue 5. That's isn't that Wadsworth? Yeah, that is Wadsworth.
Wadsworth range. Cannon.
Yeah.
It's like a mortar on a ship.
So these guys
I don't know that term.
reloaded fully and moved up 1
U.S.
inch.
has Constitution.
No, I haven't.
I've
Have
been-
you? Old Ironsides.
Oh, it's freaking awesome.
I haven't been on there since I was probably 17.
It's like the most inspiring thing I've ever done in my life. Yeah, it's awesome.
There's 4 flags.
Come on, Andre. Pick a blue one once in a
So
while.
Andre's
Cannon's the
gonna,
only thing doing anything.
he's gonna burn all 4 flags to reload the cannon. So
What else am I going to do?
I don't know. Move your redcoats up to the bridge.
It's not like I'm not going to come into contact with that line anyhow.
Yeah, they're militia. They suck. 5. That's Tatanka
Tonka.
with all his shock.
Oh,
You got
if only
5
I had
shock.
some flags.
And you're a level 1.
I'll remove 1 shock.
Okay.
So much for, yeah, that would have been a better use.
A
But
little disappointed with the Indians, but whatever.
Tiffin.
Okay, and then Andre burned all his flags, so Steve's got 2 left. So Steve moved Montrose up to the bridge. They're actually facing that direction. And then Walker moved around, and Steve, Andre's pulling already, so we got a blue 3 and a flag. So Walker can activate. Walker himself, so you could pull a shock now if you like. He's a level 2, right? Yeah, so you can pull 2 shock. You could actually pull 3 shock if you use that flag, but... So he took a shock off, moved over only 1 inch sadly, but he is in range, so he's going to fire onto Tatanka. Needing 5s. 2 hits. Not bad. Not bad with 4 dice needing 5s.
Boom! Dead in a shot.
Dead in a shock.
Victory points.
Check your leader. No. So, 5 shock. Remove a man. 5. So yeah, 1 more shock and you start involuntary withdrawal. 2, that's Sergeant Martin. Martin's just going to sit tight and remove a non-existent shock. So another flag.
Boom.
There you go, Harper.
Harper. Up to the
So he was able to move up a whopping 2 inches with Harper.
1 inch.
And remove 2 inch. No, well, he removed 2 shock and then he moved up 2 inches.
1 inch twice.
1 inch twice.
blue flag.
Hey, look at that! He's pulling all the blue now. So
Hey, you can
2
pull the
is,
other shock.
Knox, right?
Sergeant Knox. So he can pull the final shock. That's what you were saving that
Beauty.
one for, right?
That's right. It's a plan.
Another flag. So Steve, you got 3 flags.
flags. 1, 2, 3, and 3
So
flags.
You
Activate an officer at that
could
point.
operate. Yeah, you could activate an officer. So
Who
you.
hasn't gone yet?
Montrose hasn't gone.
Montrose, I think, just ran to the bridge.
Wadsworth. No, that was after the Tiffin on the last turn.
Oh, so Montrose is going to face.
So you're gonna interrupt? Probably a good idea. You don't want these guys to.
No, so yeah, we're going to change our facing.
Okay, so everyone's just gonna do a right face and face across the bridge here.
And then uncontrolled volley.
Not even. Are you even in? Yeah, you are, aren't you?
Uh,
I'll figure it out. So Montrose, they refaced down the road, and then they had to wheel a bit because they weren't in the arc. So they're done. So next flag there, Andre. Or next card, please. Tiffin. Ooh, that's not good for Andre. So Steve's still got 3 flags.
So that's activate a leader, right?
Oh no, you don't. You just activated Montrose with those. So Andre is the only one that can do anything. So he used the last flag he had to activate Nelson, and he's moving up. So we're gonna have a face-to-face volley attack here. So it all depends on who gets that first flag. Is it gonna be Nelson or is it gonna be Montrose? That's Sharp. So Sharp moved his group up and ordered the cannon to fire before he left. So they're going to present and fire
yes.
at Harper. Needing 4s.
4s.
Yeah, he presented.
Not a fan.
So that's still pretty damn good.
6 hits.
6 hits on Harper. So you can split them up. And Harper, who's he
2
with?
and 2, isn't it?
Yep, yeah.
2. The dead and shock.
Dead in the shot.
Victory point.
Victory point. Shock. And last group. It's a shock. And then dead. Another victory point.
2 more
So
victory
2 more
points.
victory points and 3 shock dished
Hooray
out.
for rolling like crap.
And the cannon is now
Unloaded.
MVP.
Cannon's the MVP. And we'll put this on here for Steve to make it look like a fireball coming out the end.
Okay, a couple of flags and a Tiffin, huh?
2 red flags and a Tiffin is what Andre's calling for.
Boom.
That's not it.
That's Johnny. So he moved up a whopping 2 inches. Now he's going to fire into here.
Need 5.
Yeah, it's your long range, and you have a +1 for being light infantry. 2 hits.
2 hits.
2 hits on Tatanka, Andre. Nothing.
Nothing.
Wow.
Nothing but a pin.
Yeah, next card.
Pair of 3s and a red flag. And a blue flag.
2 flags in a row.
We have symmetry.
3 flags in a row. The last thing that happened was
Johnny
Johnny Walker fired.
Sounds like wet powder to me.
So roll 2d6, Steve. See what happens.
7.
I don't think that's a good
Smoke.
thing for
A
me.
pall of smoke hangs in front of the firers. Firing through this will be -1 to hit until the smoke clears. So there we go. There it is. Now that's some smoke. Harper.
All right.
So Harper took 2 shock off, wheeled around to get in to get sharp in his arc, and he's gonna fire an uncontrolled volley.
Averaging 3 hits.
So needing 6s, long range uncontrolled. Reroll that one. Boom.
And he's average.
3 hits.
Perfectly average on there, Steve. So
Hard cover.
nothing.
Nothing.
Less than nothing.
You get to remove
A 0
shock.
and 2 negative ones.
You get to remove shock.
Remove a shock.
That's so good.
You heard the ref.
I'm the umpire. I said remove the shock. All right, next card there, Andre. That's why you should present. But if you present, he probably would have just pulled back. So, and the flag. Hey, keep pulling them blue flags for Delilah.
Yeah, man. Boo.
Tatanka. All right, so Tatanka. Here's the plan. What's this guy's story? Is he dead?
Yeah. He just joined the Indians.
So Tatanka is going to spend he's going to spend a card to step out, and he's going to roll 4d6 to try to get over and Fist of Cups with Johnny
With 5.
5 shock. So he's 10. That ain't gonna make it. What is that? That's 10 there. 8 minus 5. You got a
That
3
was
and
close.
2. I was
What? That's 8.
minus 5.
No, that's after the minus 5.
Is it? No. It's 10, 11, 12, 13, minus 5. Oh, yeah.
It's
I'm
8.
sorry. I'm sorry. You got closer than I thought. What was I thinking? But you did get close. So he sort of made it over there. He's in the general direction of Johnny Walker. So next flag, or next card.
Next flag. I lost the
Yeah,
bag.
we found the bag.
I dropped the bag.
That is, isn't that what's his face?
Montrose.
Oh, bad news for Andre.
Thank you for the good advice there, Travis.
Montrose can't make
Yeah, I
it.
told you it was a risk. You had to hope to get the first card.
I don't think there's anything Montrose can do that would make a difference. Oh, that's Montrose.
I was gonna say, what are you talking about? Freaking.
Oh, yeah.
He,
Point blank
Steve
volley.
passed.
Yeah.
Steve passed.
Sorry, he said he wasn't
He
gonna do
said
anything.
he wasn't doing anything.
Present fire, right?
Present and
You
fire. Yeah.
cannot present.
Yeah, you can.
He already did.
Did he already shoot once? They
He
haven't shot
already
yet.
presented once.
Well, he hasn't shot yet, though.
Help a brother out. Doesn't know the rules.
He hasn't shot yet. You can
Yeah.
present, not shoot.
You never shot, huh?
No, he hasn't shot yet.
I'm screwed.
Let's count them up. 22 shots. So the militia are about to light up the redcoats. So I admit it. I gave Andre some advice. I wouldn't say it was bad advice. It would have been great advice if you got their card first.
It wouldn't. No,
You would have done some damage to them.
I
You
would
would've-
have, but
But he happened to get his for 22 shots. Montrose into the redcoats and column. So anything but. I see one butt.
3 butts.
3
so
butts.
19.
19 hits. Yeah, you might as well just grab all these.
I'm American.
So we'll split them up and then we'll roll them. So 19. So what do you got? What are you gonna do here? You gotta split them up. You got 2 groups.
A handful each.
Okay. So the first group, first handful.
3 dead.
3
And a
two
shock.
2 shock.
2 shock.
Second group. 1 dead and
4 shock.
4 shock.
That was actually not bad.
Yeah, told you not to worry.
Pretty dead, man. That's 3.
Was the first group had?
Was it worse than that because I'm in column?
Well, no, actually, being in column didn't hurt you because he was within 12, so he's on a 2+ anyway. So it really didn't help. So it was 4 shock and 3 shock, right? Wait, how many did you lose each? Hold on. So 3 victory points for Steve. 3 Brits killed. Actually, it was only 2 in the front and 1 in the back, right?
No, 3. 3 and 1.
3 and 1. Okay, and then 4 shock and 2 shock. So you sustained it. I mean,
Kind of.
Yeah, you're still hurting.
Hey, Steve's got 3 flags.
So he could do something, but keep going.
Wait, hold on. You guys paused there.
It looked like he was still thinking.
like there was some obvious. So I can activate a leader of 3, right?
So he's not going to use his flag. So red flag he pulled. Now you got 4. Oh, baby. Now you could fire him again if you wanted. But it'd be an uncontrolled volley this time. Reload and fire.
Reload fire! Come on!
Why not?
Lots of dice.
It was a race to the bridge. Steve won. Montrose. So we'll count. So it's 22 shots. Bonus activation on Montrose with 22 shots. So they're still in column. He is within close range.
Well, I could interrupt though, right?
You could. No, I don't. Because this is kind of an interruption. You can't interrupt an interrupt. So go for it. Needing 3s, man.
Wow, 12.
So 12 hits, so 6 each. 6 on the front. Whoa. Look at that. Just a shock. Amazing. And 6 on the back. A
Dead and 2 shot.
Alright, one more VP!
Wow. Another victory point, but still,
Keep them coming.
as much fire as these guys have taken, they're actually not
They're,
too bad.
Clearly regulars.
And one thing I haven't checked, these guys are probably not in there, and they're not in the arc, so we're good. And then unload it again. Red flag.
Tiffin.
Oh.
Tiffin. So Andre's got 3 flags. He can do something.
Wow.
So he's going to use 1 flag to roll for Delilah's handler there. I'm not going to make it anywhere near the board edge. But luckily Steve doesn't have 3 flags, so he can't break her off.
Okay.
You got 2 flags left, so you got well, you got both of these groups to go.
Yeah.
1, 2, you got and 4. Who's 4? 4 is where the? Oh, that's them. Yeah, so you got them and them. So yeah, Delilah and the guard moved Delilah that way, and then both of these groups use a flag each to move this direction. And Sergeant Martin's going to stay with the cannon. The next turn.
Green die.
Green dice. Green dice in the bag. Interesting.
What do I get for that?
Oh, 3 flags in a row.
The last person that moved was this group here.
10.
10, huh? Let's see, what's 10? My bally leg. The leader commanding the unit has sprained his ankle. Move with -1 pip per dice for the rest of the game.
Yay.
So this he got knocked down by Delilah's petticoats, and then he sprained his ankle. Not having a good day, Captain Gage.
Not a good day.
First his rendezvous with Delilah got messed up.
Wadsworth's Rangers.
So yeah, that's Wadsworth.
Yeah, they're not putting up with this crap.
Wadsworth has moved all the way back here,
7, right?
and yep, full unit. So he's gonna fire right into these redcoats. Needing 3s. All but 1. So 5 hits on your.
But 2, so it's 5. Yeah.
All but 2. So 5 hits or 4 hits.
5.
In the open, 2 shock. So I got a shock counter right here. They're unloaded.
Double them.
Double unloaded. This card, red 1. That's the guy with the sprained ankle there. So Gage moved them up a little bit. They didn't move very far. And then he had the cannon reload, and these guys this group is going to fire at Wadsworth. That's just not the first time they fired,
No.
but he did get 2 hits.
Hey, double hits.
Double hits.
On Wadsworth?
Hell yeah. Yeah, on Wadsworth. Hardcover. Hardcover.
Double 6s.
Nothing.
Nothing.
Amazing.
Wow.
Wadsworth is he's no spring.
How many times have I not hit something?
A lot.
Oh, let's see.
Yeah, but I just pulled another green die.
Another green
That's two green
die
dice.
Another green die out of the bag. I think that means that Delilah does something. 4, yeah, that's those guys.
Hey, I might get 2 hits that he saves.
So the Nelson's guys snapped in. He used a flag to increase his command initiative, and then he's going to fire only 8 shots into Montrose. Needing 3s. On first fire, uncontrolled. So 5 hits on Montrose. So probably 3 on Montrose's guys and 2 on the other.
Montrose's guys.
Ooh!
2 dead.
2 dead.
And then a shock. So roll to see if it's Montrose. This
I need
good.
a Montrose.
It is.
It is Montrose.
Oh
Roll another
no!
one.
See what
Steve.
happens to him. 4. He
Guys,
just loses a command initiative.
So he's now a level 0.
No, he's a level 1 now.
Oh.
So roll a bad thing, Steve. See what happens.
Ooh, Steve has a bad thing.
He has to roll a bad thing, so that's probably a minus.
5s are good.
5s are good for Andre.
5s are always.
Leader 2, status leader 2, wounded on a 5 is a minus. Only a -1. So Steve's down to.
Oh, you lost 2 dudes, didn't you?
Well, one of them was Montrose.
Oh.
Yeah.
Took a wound.
So Andre gets a victory point.
And I'm down to 9.
You're down to 9. And these guys are. No.
No, they fired reload.
Okay, keep pulling.
Oh, another green die.
Why is there so many green dice in that bag? What's going on here?
Steve didn't put any of his dice in.
Seriously. Come, help a brother out. What a blue one.
That's Sergeant Martin. Where is he? Oh, he's the cannon guy. He's running the cannon.
He'll take some shock off the cannon.
I can tell the cannon to fire.
They already reloaded.
Oh, that's right. They've already activated. Montrose. It's time to finish this, Montrose.
He's
Give him a volley.
okay. So reload fire.
Yep. All right, Montrose. Uncontrolled volley within close range. 20 shots. Needing 4s. These militia aren't bad. They're pretty good, actually. 20 guys.
Well, especially when I can't get a shot on them.
Today they are.
Today they're good.
They're really good if you're not shooting them.
Needing 5.
No, 4s.
4.
They're close range. So that's not bad. About average. 50-50. So how many did you get?
8. 9.
9 hits. So
Just under average.
just under average. So put 5 on the group that contains the leader, and then 4 on the other group. 3 shock. Dead
One
and a
dead
shock.
and a shock.
So 3 shock here, another victory point for Steve. So you're up to, wow,
7 shock here.
and 6 shock here.
So I'm even here. I'm 1 over here.
So they have more shock than men,
1.
so they need involuntary withdrawal. So roll a d6 for bad thing. Nothing. So they fall back an inch.
And break a formation.
No, these guys go with them.
Oh.
You have to fall back 3. If you fall back 2 or less, the whole formation can move back and stick together.
Sweet.
When you fall back 3, then you break the formation.
Alrighty.
Because you're teetering on the edge here. You're at 5 morale.
Teeter, teeter, teeter.
Of course, when you got 6 cards, who cares if you lose 1? 45.
It's 2 flags in a row.
Have you been keeping track, or are you writing it up there still?
I'm keeping it here. Okay.
Well, yeah, just do both.
So that's
3 flags. Yeah. So are you going to try to?
He's
interrupt?
level 1 or 2.
He's level 2. It's Roger Sharp.
So he can remove his shock.
So you're going to use the 3 flags to activate him, or did you pull the 3?
I pulled a
I'm sorry, I
3.
didn't see. Okay, pull the 3. All right. So he's going to do something with Sharp. So Sharp's going to fire at Montrose.
Soft code.
Needing,
Smoke.
they haven't shot yet, have they? So close range, anything but.
One but.
One butt.
8 hits.
So 8 hits onto Montrose's group. Split them up. So 4 and 4. 4 on Montrose.
So here's Montrose's squad. One
Dead in the shock. And you are going to have to check your leader there because they are skirmishers.
What? They're in formation.
Doesn't matter. You get shot at by skirmishers. So roll a d6. Oh, it is. It's Montrose again. See what happens to him.
Actually, it doesn't really.
Knocked unconscious.
So,
Roll a bad thing again.
Victory point.
I only killed one guy, didn't I?
Yeah, and it was Montrose, so it wasn't. You didn't kill anyone. Roll a bad thing. Reroll.
6s are good. 3.
Status 2 leader wounded again. -1. So you're down to 8.
Woohoo!
And then roll the 4. Roll the other group. Just a shock. So are they reloaded? Fired and reload?
Fire and reload.
Okay, so next card. Montrose is knocked out. You need him to get back up, that's for sure. Or get Harper over there.
3.
3, that's this guy.
Walker. Oh, shooting time.
Or fisticuffs. You might as well attack. They're going to attack you, so you might as well get the benefit of all the tomahawks and everything.
That's a good plan.
Can I reload?
All
fire
burn 3
and then-
flags and attack with the tomahawks.
Okay, he's going to interrupt. You actually only need to burn 2 to do that.
Really?
Well, if you burn 3, there's no real reason to.
Oh, okay. So just activating the unit.
So,
See if I make it.
oh yeah.
Woohoo!
You got it. So roll your 5 tomahawks real quick. See how many shock we get. 1 shock. So you're going to lose 1 dice. We'll count the dice up and do the fisticuffs. Alright, we counted up 9 each. Here we go.
On 3.
What do I need?
5s and 6s.
5s and 6s.
So 3 for him.
4.
4. So you take 3 shock, Andre, and lose 3 guys. So you're up to 8. This is going to be painful for you, even though you won. So you're at 8 shock. You lost 3 men. Roll for your leader. Nope. Roll for your leader on a 4.
He lost all of them.
Oh, but it still needs to roll to see if it was the leader. No, it's not the leader.
But you still lost 4 guys.
Yeah. So okay, roll again and see what happens to him. So he just loses a command initiative. So he's solo, falls back 6 that way because you lost by 1, and you keep facing the enemy. So those 3 guys are gone. So we'll roll the bad things. We'll figure out what's going on here. So there we go. So these guys broke. They won, but they still have way more shock than men. So they broke. He fell back, and they both rolled bad things. Steve's down to 8. Andre's down in the 4, so he loses a flag next turn. Yep, they both use both their flags as in the fisticuffs. Harper.
Nice.
Ooh, bad news.
So Harper's going to reload and fire an uncontrolled volley in 6s back into Roger Sharp's skirmishers.
15,
So it's
18.
pretty close right now. Well, not really. Putting a good spin on it, Andre.
21. What do we say?
22. You get 22. 6s. Last time you did this, you only got 3 hits.
Well,
That's
that's
average.
a little bit on average.
I see 3. That's a little better. 5. 5 hits. 5 hits on Sharp. 2 shot. That was it. So, all right, keep pulling.
Oh, we haven't tiffined yet?
No, we're still going.
Oh, Lord.
2
Have some more
flags.
flags, Steve.
Yeah, a couple
Thank you.
more.
I'll
That's
pull
the
2
Tonka.
shock.
Off to with Tatanka. Okay.
Yeah.
Pull 2 shock off Tatanka over there. He's using his flag.
You're now 6.
There's
2.
your 2.
That's your sergeant.
Pull your shock.
He can pull
And the
this-
Tiffin.
And
You got
finally the
nothing left
Tiffin.
for your flags?
Got 2 flags.
Yeah, but I think you've done everything. 1, 2,
2,
3,
3,
4,
4,
5. Yep. So next, here we go. Tiffin.
Oh! I own the bridge! 3 VPs, right?
Well,
Hey, look, Steve gets to totally reload.
Everyone
all
gets to
his
reload.
dudes.
everyone's reloaded.
Yeah, except
So-
I already was.
But one of my objectives is to own the bridge.
Well, I think it's at the end of the game
But-
if you have it.
If the Tiffin comes out at the first pull, that's...
Well, that's the end of chapter. I think it's end of game
When do you get the objective? I got 3 VPs for...
at the end of the game.
Come on! Jeez. Alright.
Red flag.
Come on, Montrose!
Come on, Montrose. I'm rooting for you.
4 is...
That's Montrose.
Is 4 Montrose?
I think it is.
Dang.
Oh, Lord.
Alright.
Present.
do it.
No, you can't present. Never mind. But you could fire.
Fire!
Actually, I'm sorry.
Yeah, you can present fire.
He's knocked out. Oh no, he gets up. Yeah, that's what happened. That's what helped you out when he pulled that Tiffin the first. Montrose got up. So you
I just can't catch a break this game,
I still
can
don't
I?
own the
I don't
bridge.
think so, but you could fire.
Shoot, yeah, I'm gonna fire.
All right, Montrose, ready to administer the coup de grace here. Needing 4s. Oh, I heard one hit the ground.
What a horrible roll.
Yeah, that's not a coup de grace.
That's keeping the game going.
There's one more.
Alright.
So you
Oh,
got
that
4,
wasn't so bad.
8 hits.
Isn't that enough?
So start on these guys here.
Oh, 1 VP.
Dead and 2 shock. So they're gonna
Up to 9.
falling back again. And then the other group, 4 on them. Just a shot.
But they're falling back too.
Okay, so how many do these guys have?
9 with 6 guys.
So they're gonna fall back 3 inches. So that's gonna break formation. So this could do it. So roll a bad thing for breaking formation. A 4 minus 1, so you're down to 3. Roll a bad thing for involuntary withdrawal. Nothing. The other group, involuntary withdrawal, minus 1, you're down to 2. You want to call it?
Good enough for me.
Alright, Andre is he's bailing. He's out of here. So shake hands.
Go
And
Indians.
We'll come back and wrap it up. Alright, well, we're back to wrap it up. The Continentals have clearly won this game. They've driven the British off the field, routed them off the table.
They control the bridge.
They controlled the bridge. They
I
killed
didn't
tons of
poison the
Indians.
well.
Yeah, one of Andre's was he had to poison the well with the Indians. He didn't get close, obviously.
Yeah, the Indians were not so good.
So anyway, so Andre, what do you think went wrong for you?
The Indians came in.
That's supposed to be a good thing,
Yeah, tell me about it.
but it wasn't. I thought the Indians coming in was going to be a big game changer, and it was.
Yeah, it was.
It was a game changer, not in the way I expected it, but I was also not
if they'd
expecting
have-
Steve to be so, have all of his forces over here.
Yeah.
That didn't help you.
I mean, if I'd have just left the Indians back there and not tried to use them, I might have been okay. But that's just, that's just kind of too. I mean,
But what's the point of having Indians if they're not
Yeah.
going to do anything? So
This is a really cool scenario. I really like the sentries at the beginning. I think, like a lot of these, they get overly complicated with the special victory point conditions, where you'd rather see, victory points coming from depleted units or routed units. So I think that worked to Andre's detriment to have the.
you mean having a VP for every guy killed?
Well, I think having all these oddball stuff, like the cart full of stuff that you could take off, or
Yeah.
a poison well, or
Well, it's just there to give
or
you
a
options.
spy.
It's just options, really. I mean, the cart, you didn't do it.
And
Really cool. I mean, really.
burning the building
Yeah, there's another thing on there because
was
burn that building down.
which
over there.
yeah. So again, being able to do the oddball stuff didn't really come in that much, but yeah, having the 2 points per Indian was really harsh, and just not. Well, yeah, it was.
Cannon was harsh.
The cannon worked well, but
The cannon was awesome.
it overall, what was the effect?
It didn't do much.
I killed
overall.
5 guys.
It could have done more, but
And that was really the only thing that did anything.
yeah. Well, you were getting bad rolls. You had horrible rolls tonight.
Hey! How about some strategy? Some credit for.
No, you did good getting to the bridge. I'll give
And
it.
killing Indians.
Well, yeah, and going after the Indians. There, yeah, you could have just left like a rear guard and just kind of tried to keep them at a distance, but you actually went after them.
And I was so far over here, even if you'd have just pulled everything back and just wiped the Indians, which would have been a legitimate move for you, because taking out all the Indians probably would have ended the game, and there was nothing I could do about it.
Yeah, that's 14, 18 VPs for the Indians.
Well, it's 2 per, and there was 14 of them, so it's 28 VPs if you kill every Indian.
That might be the loophole in the game.
Yeah.
If you focus on the Indians, yeah.
If you kept
Yeah.
them at 1
If-
VP per Indian.
If the Indians had come in over here, it would have been a whole different game.
Well, plus I think when he wrote it, Josh wrote it, he was kind of, you were expecting the
British to have moved up a lot more.
the Continentals,
Yeah.
because they had 6
Sorry.
turns to move up and get in line
Yeah.
and be ready to pour on fire. But if
It didn't happen.
No, but if he did do that, and he was if he used all 6 turns to move up as far as he could, as fast as he could, and get online and be ready to blast when the sun came up,
Yeah.
then the Indians would have been a lot
A
different.
lot more effective, yeah.
But he just happened to have a lot of stuff in this area here when the Indians
well,
came in.
yeah, you had a lot of bad rolls, and just the way you were maneuvering with the sentries.
No, I was being conservative. And cool scenario, Josh. But
Yeah.
But he didn't know the Indians were coming either. So it wasn't like he intentionally said, "Well, I know some Indians are coming in on turn 6. I'm gonna leave a bunch of guys."
And I honestly didn't know the Indians were coming in back there.
Oh, I thought I told you that.
No. You told me they were coming on turn 6, you didn't tell me where.
Oh, well, that was my fault then. But
Not
anyway.
that I think that would have affected my strategy at all, because...
No. Well, maybe having the Indians come in, maybe have an option for the player.
flanking option for
A British,
would be
for the
good.
British could pick where the Indians come in, but because I'm sure as soon as you saw all these Americans here and the Indians come in here, it's like, But even at that time, you were kind of confident about the Indians. You're like, I'm going to do some damage with them, but
Well, yeah. And having them in 2 groups, having the Indian blob is a lot more effective in terms of
yeah.
having, because I had the Indians and I had the cannon, and I had your main line in between. So that's why I was kind of liking this situation.
Well, I'll tell you, I thought the Americans were in trouble at the beginning. I'm thinking the cannon. We got the guys coming in from over there. We got Indians coming in
Yeah,
from
that
over
actually
here.
went. The reinforcements came in fairly quickly.
Actually, they could have came in quicker, but you never drew his card out for like 2 turns.
Yeah.
Because after turn 6, or as soon as that he got off the board, they could have came in, but they have to come in when he's activated, and he didn't activate for like 2 turns after he got off the board.
And there were a lot of situations. I had a lot of flags. The problem I recall was I wanted to do stuff with them, but it was like, well, you were yelling at me for activating the cannon with them, but it was. I just wasn't, like the Indians, I was pulling their cards early before I had the flags to be able to remove the shock.
Yeah, that doesn't help.
Because I would, even with the shock piled up, if I could have, had 3 or 4 flags sitting there when the card comes up, I could have pulled the shock and could have tried to regroup, but I kept pulling their card early, and
That's what it's all about.
I really like the scenario. It's a cool scenario with the sentries at the beginning, the ability to sort of prepare the continental.
Yeah, move into position.
Well,
yeah,
and
I really like that a lot. I think the special rules with the cart or the Indians or the poisoning the well or the burning the building, if you dial back the sort of special VP conditions, I think it would be a really solid scenario. I'd do it again. I thought it was pretty cool.
And I'd even counter that and say maybe dial up the special conditions.
I think they're. I think they're okay as they
So
are.
make it less about the overall kills and
more
the
about
action.
shooting each other in formation.
Yeah, no, that's just a regular game of sharp practice at that point. I think the special things just give you more options. Like the Indians, they could have just ran straight over there and burned that down.
Well,
They didn't have
if
to
I'd
come
have
over here and start
rolled
shooting.
less than a 5 on getting across the gap.
They didn't get absorbed a lot of bullets.
I think I like it. I like the special rules.
Great scenario.
I think that the only thing I would change would be that you don't get a victory point for every guy you kill,
Yeah.
because those are piling up big time.
Keep the 2 victory points
For
the
Indians? I would say maybe if you kill a whole group or a group, you get
Maybe
like
3
five,
for-
3 or 5 victory points. But
Yeah.
2 per Indian, that build up quick.
That's pretty heavy.
Yeah,
It,
but
Well-
maybe if you kill all the Indians, then you get like 5 victory points.
well, and again, the Indians were supposed to be a huge bonus for me, not the main detriment, which is,
Well-
that was just kind of a fluke thing.
That was a fluke, and it was
But-
just because Steve had so many guys in here, and all you had to do was just flip around, and
Yeah.
Or as soon as
you didn't
One thing
happen to have them.
I did like the doing this as a trio where you got 2 players and one person is controlling.
Dungeon Master.
Yeah, because it throws
Yeah,
in that
referee.
random element. When you guys said, "Okay, the Frenchmen are showing up," I'm thinking,
Yeah, we were joking.
"Holy shit, I'm getting flanked now."
No, I
because
love
you
that,
gotta,
yeah.
it throws in not so much a random element, but
A plausible.
there's stuff you don't know about that can happen that you can't do in just a 2-player game.
Nope.
When you've got somebody else that can say, "Okay, that triggered this event to happen,"
Right.
and it definitely is an added thing. It's
No, I
an
love
unknown that you kind of gotta deal with. That okay, I know this is my plan, and yeah, it always goes awry, but you're also having to deal with the fact that okay, what kind of weird stuff could you can't overextend as much as you might in a all out thrust one way or the other, just because Indians might pop up behind you.
Right. No, I love that part of it. I
Thanks,
think
Josh. Cool scenario.
that was
Yeah.
the most amazing part
Well
of it. Is the
well done.
Is the part I love the most is that part you were just talking about, just the not knowing.
Yeah.
Like I knew because I was the ref, but you guys didn't know everything, so you never knew what was going to happen. Steve didn't know the Indians were going to pop up. You didn't know Delilah was going to try to run off.
Oh yeah. It's like what?
But that is.
I'm just escorting her off the board. How hard
yeah.
could it be?
Well, no, she's getting away, and she almost did, but you got her back.
I got
so.
a lucky.
But
One of my good lucky rolls.
The only lucky roll you got the whole game. But anyway, Joshua, thank you for writing this. It was a lot of fun, and write another one, and we'll put it back up here on the channel, and we'll do another one. So anyway,
Go call me
Well,
over.
thanks for hanging with the long presentation.
it's a long video, but it's cool. It's cool. We love it.
It was a
And,
lot of fun, even get my butt kicked.
Yeah. So anyway, we'll see you for the next time.